morning. It is about 7:30 right now. I have been climbing most of the morning out of Hamburg. I went to sleep really early last night and I woke up at about 3:30, but my watch said I'd gotten about 8.5 hours. And I felt rested, and that gave me some time to have several cups of coffee, to read my devotionals, and I resurrected my Living Bible translation in my Kindle and started reading in Galatians this morning, and that was enlightening. Yes, I know it is a transcription, but I like to read it. To me, it's like reading a good book, and if I want to go deeper, I can go into the other translations. So, I did enjoy reading that this morning. I did get a shuttle to take me to Blue Mountain Road, which was where I got off the trail and climbed up the embankment to walk on the highway. Cost me $10, and it was worth every penny to not have to gamble with my life to get back on trail. The weather is absolutely fabulous. I did not hear any rain or thunderstorms last night, but I gotta tell you, without going into details, that there was some noise in that room. But apparently some kind of front came through, and it's nice and breezy and cooler, and I think the high is supposed to be in the 80s, and I'll take it, because last week was just like being in an oven, and it brought back memories of my childhood on the Gulf Coast of Texas, which was basically hot. And I'm feeling pretty good today. My legs feel rested. Still got that pain in my chest and my thigh, but it's not bad. It's certainly doable. I'm not sure what the plan is for today. This section should be kind of difficult. The water situation is not good, and there will be a bad climb out of Lehigh Gap. First time I ever did it, I stopped in the middle of it, called Bud and asked him to pray for me. I told him for the first time I felt like I was doing something that could endanger my life. I think it's easier for tall people, but with my short legs and you're actually climbing up with your hands, it was a little scary, and if you look down, it's scary, but I will be fine, and I'm not dreading it like I was the second time I went through it. I'm a little apprehensive, but basically, I just want to get this section done. I tried to make an itinerary, and there really is not a good solution unless you do short miles and go shelter to shelter in some cases. And I'm carrying 5 days of food already, and it really makes for a heavy pack. So I wouldn't want to be carrying any more than this. And so we shall see what happens today. Tentatively, I've got about 14.5 to get to Eckville Shelter, depending on what time I get there, how bad the rocks are there, and how long it takes me to get there. I might push on a bit. Last week, I was I avoided stealth camping. I wanted to stay at places where there was a water source, because on 2 occasions I went back to the water source to get more water. because I was so thirsty because it was so hot. This week, it might not be quite so bad to stealth camp. The only difficult part will be carrying the water for a long distance, and in some cases, you have to go downhill 0.3 to get to the water source and then climb back up. So I'm not looking forward to this section. I just want to get it over with. And I guess that is it for now. This is Rebound, signing out. I don't know if you can see it, but I've just seen my first bear. I'm seeing a lot of trees like this that are being eaten up like this, or that are down like this. And I don't remember seeing this in 2018. I'm wondering if anybody knows what's doing this. I've seen warnings for a something spotted lantern beetle that turns into a moth, and some information saying they're destructive. I'm wondering if this could be what they're doing, or if it's other plants that they're destructive to. Otherwise, is it just carpenter ants? Did the tree die and then it's being eaten? It just seems like there is an inordinate amount of trees. See all that bark that falls off? That are dying like this. Hi. I just met a man and asked him if he knew about the trees. And he says, I don't know, but there's an awful lot of them. And he says, I think it's what they're spraying on us from the skies. I said, do you mean chemtrails? He said, yeah. I wouldn't doubt it. But it is something to note. I've seen so many blowdowns too. So many more than I saw in 2018. Hello. I had a good day today. I did about 14.6 or 8 today to the Eckville shelter. I am at the tenting area. This particular shelter is built behind a house and it has a caretaker. There is a shed with a flush toilet in it and a water spigot, and the tenting area is across the road, which is where I am. I stopped pretty early today. It was probably about 1, but the next shelter is like 7 or 8 miles ahead, and I just didn't have that in me. That would have made over 20 miles for the day. I mentioned before that this section is going to be problematic because of water and shelter spacing, so I have a good idea of where I'm going tomorrow. I'm not sure where I'll land. After that, I had sort of a creepy incident today wherein a day hiker who was not dressed in hiking clothes but was dressed in dress shorts came about within 5 feet of me. I did not hear him at all, And something told me to look back, and I looked back, and there he was about 5 feet away from me. He hadn't said anything. You know, usually if somebody comes up behind you, they say hello or something like that to let you know that they're coming and they want to pass. But he was really close, and I was visibly shaken and sucked in my breath. And he says, "I didn't mean to startle you." And he hiked on, and he was going really fast. It wasn't like he was just out for a day hike to see a view, or it was like he was in shape, but he wasn't wearing workout clothes. He was wearing clothes that a guy would wear if he was going out to lunch at a restaurant or something. So that had me pretty unnerved. I texted Bud and let him know what was going on, and the guy passed me really quick. He was way ahead of me, which tells me that he was in good shape, and I never saw him again. But it's left me feeling like I don't want to stealth camp. I did hear of a hiker who went missing and was found dead, but there really are no details as to how that person died, and it was near Palmerton, Pennsylvania, which I will be hitting soon. So since I don't really know anything about it, could be nothing. What happened today could be nothing, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do after tomorrow, because there won't be a shelter within distance to stay at, and so I'll have to stealth camp probably. I believe that will be the day I do that climb out of Lehigh Gap, and there's just a long area without water during that stretch, so a little worried about that. And it was much cooler today. We've had a nice breeze all day long, and it's supposed to be a little bit warmer tomorrow, but at least for tonight I should sleep well. I didn't sweat much today, and for that I'm very grateful. So I am going to edit videos and read and then go to bed. So until next time, this is Rebound signing out.